Welcome to Mindful Moments. Nourish your mind on the go. This video uses AI narration to present our original book analysis. Today, we're taking a deep dive into, Elizabeth Gilbert's Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh, yeah.
It's the story of a woman in her 30s, who ditches it all to travel the world.
Yeah, that one. But it's much more than just a travelogue. It's a journey of self-discovery. Gilbert's grappling with a divorce, a painful rebound relationship, and a sense of emptiness. A pretty universal experience, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. She decides to spend a year exploring different cultures, and ultimately herself. And the way she structures the book is fascinating. 108 tales, like a japa mala. Those strings of deeds used in meditation. Each section, Italy, India, and Indonesia, has 36 tales.
A subtle nod to her age at the time, maybe. But it also reflects her desire for balance. Each country represents a different aspect of this quest. Pleasure in Italy, devotion in India, and Devabrish. Ultimately finding a balance between the two in Indonesia.
Okay, so let's start in Italy. Pasta, pizza, gelato. Who wouldn't want to find themselves there? Elizabeth dives headfirst into the sensory delights of Italian life. Her description of an Italian speedball breakfast, pastries and cappuccino, is enough to make anyone drool.
But what's interesting is her initial discomfort with pure pleasure. Her upbringing instilled a sense of guilt around indulgence. It's a struggle many of us can relate to. Over time, though, she learns to embrace the Italian art of savoring life.
Like with her friend Luca Spaghetti, who shows her the best hidden trattorias, or Maria, who expresses herself through curse words written in elegant Italian script. On her walls, even her language exchange partner, Giovanni, teaches her more than just grammar.
Exactly. He encourages patience in the learning process. A valuable lesson for any journey, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
These encounters highlight a key theme, learning to enjoy life's simple pleasures without guilt.
It makes you realize that sometimes we need permission to simply enjoy ourselves, to be present in the moment, from indulging in delicious food to appreciating the beauty around us.
And this sets the stage for the next leg of her journey, India. Here, Elizabeth shifts from external pleasures to internal exploration, seeking spiritual guidance at an ashram.
Okay, but meditation. Turns out it's not as easy as it looks. Elizabeth wrestles with frustration and resistance. There's even a hilarious anecdote about her trying to escape a particularly challenging chanting ritual, the Guru Gita.
It's during this struggle that the concept of surrender emerges. She's wrestling with letting go of control, of expectations, and of our own self-doubt. It's a theme woven throughout the book. Think about it. How often do we cling to control in our own lives?
And it's in India that she meets Richard from Texas, this blunt but insightful character who offers a different perspective. He tells her, someday you're going to look back on this moment of your life as such a sweet time of grieving, and that she should take this time, every minute of it.
His words encourage Elizabeth to embrace the grieving process, to allow herself to feel the pain without judgment, and ultimately, it leads her to a deeper understanding of devotion and service.
So she's indulging in Italy.
Ah.
Seeking spiritual guidance in India? What's next?
Well, that's where Indonesia comes in. But we'll have to save that part of Elizabeth's journey for the next section of our deep dive.
Right, but before we go, let's pause for a moment and consider this. What resonates with you most so far in Elizabeth's journey?
Is it the struggle to embrace pleasure, the challenges of spiritual practice, or perhaps the wisdom found in unexpected encounters?
We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're intrigued by Elizabeth's story and want to dive deeper into her journey of self-discovery, we highly encourage you to read Eat, Pray, Love.
You can find a link to purchase the book in the description below. And be sure to subscribe to Mindful Moments for more insightful book analyses and thought-provoking discussions.
We'll be back soon with part 2 of our deep dive into Eat, Pray, Love. Until then, keep nourishing your mind. Welcome back to Mindful Moments. Last time we left off with Elizabeth embracing the pleasures of Italy and grappling with the challenges of spiritual practice in India. Now she finds herself in Indonesia, the final leg of her journey.
Yeah.
What do you think she's hoping to find there?
Balance, perhaps. Remember, she's seeking to harmonize the indulgence she experienced in Italy with the devotion she explored in India. Indonesia, specifically Bali, offers a unique blend of spirituality and earthly beauty.
Right. And she doesn't waste any time seeking out Ketut Liar, the medicine man she'd met years earlier.
Yeah.
It's like she's drawn back to this place, this energy. And Ketut immediately notices a difference in her, saying she looks different now, happier.
It's an interesting observation. Maybe it's the culmination of her experiences so far, the shedding of old patterns and the embracing of new perspectives.
Maybe. And in Bali, she encounters this concept of taksu, which refers to spiritual energy or life force.
Hmm.
Do you think she's finally finding her taksu?
I think she's definitely on the right track. Her journey in Bali is all about finding that balance, that inner harmony. And it's not just about personal growth, it's about connecting with something larger than herself.
Like her relationship with Wayan, the healer struggling to support her family. Elizabeth feels compelled to help, and her efforts lead to a remarkable outpouring of support. It shows the power of generosity and interconnectedness, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's a reminder that even small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect, creating a web of support and compassion.
But, of course, it wouldn't be eat, pray, love without a little romance. Enter Felipe, the charming Brazilian who makes Elizabeth question if she's ready to open her heart again after heartbreak.
Yeah.
It's a common fear, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, especially after a painful divorce. But Felipe's patience and understanding allow Elizabeth to move at her own pace. He tells her, "You can decide to feel however you want to, but I love you, and I will always love you."
Okay, that's pretty swoon-worthy. It highlights the mature and respectful nature of their relationship. But even with this newfound love, Elizabeth still seeks solitude. She embarks on a silent retreat on a remote island, facing her inner demons head-on.
It's a brave decision, isn't it? To confront those dark parts of ourselves, to sit with the discomfort and ultimately find a way to accept and love ourselves fully.
And it's in that solitude, stripped of all distractions, that Elizabeth finds a profound sense of self-acceptance and happiness. Her journey spanning 3 continents culminates in this quiet moment of inner peace.
It's a reminder that sometimes the greatest journeys are not outward but inward, and that true happiness is not a destination, but a state of being.
And her journey doesn't end with the book. It's an invitation for us to embark on our own quest for self-discovery, to embrace the messy, imperfect, and ultimately beautiful journey of being human.
What are your thoughts? Do you think true happiness is a state of being or a destination?
We'd love to hear your perspective in the comments below. So Elizabeth finds love, connection, and a sense of peace in Bali. But is that the end of her journey?
That's a great question. Remember, Eat, Pray, Love isn't just a story with a neat and tidy ending. It's a reflection of life itself. Messy, unpredictable, and full of continuous growth.
Totally. And what's so fascinating is how Gilbert weaves together the personal, the spiritual, and the cultural into her narrative. She doesn't shy away from asking tough questions, both of herself and the world around her. It makes you think, doesn't it?
It certainly does. One thing that struck me was her willingness to embrace discomfort, whether she's struggling with meditation in India or confronting her fear of intimacy in Bali. She doesn't avoid those challenges.
Like when she pushes herself to chant all 182 verses of the Guru Gita, even though she dreads it. Or when she decides to go on that silent retreat, alone on a remote island. Those are some bold moves.
They are. And it highlights an important lesson. Growth often happens outside of our comfort zones. It's in those moments of discomfort that we discover our resilience and strength.
Yeah, it makes me think about times I've resisted change or avoided challenges. Maybe leaning into those uncomfortable moments is where the real magic happens.
Perhaps. And it's not just about inner growth. Elizabeth's journey emphasizes the importance of connection with ourselves, with others, and with something bigger than ourselves.
Her friendship with Wayan is such a beautiful example. Their bond transcends cultural differences and highlights the power of generosity and compassion.
And her relationship with Felipe reminds us that it's possible to find love again after heartbreak, to open our hearts to new possibilities, and experience joy and passion even after loss.
Then there's her connection with Ketut Liar, the medicine man. Their interactions offer a glimpse into a worldview where spirituality and magic intertwine. It's a reminder that there are different ways of seeing and experiencing the world.
Absolutely. And through these connections, Elizabeth's world expands. And she begins to see herself as part of something larger, something interconnected. It's a powerful message, especially in a world that often feels fragmented.
Right. It reminds us that we are not alone.
Yeah.
And our actions have ripple effects that extend far beyond ourselves. What are some takeaways you think listeners can glean from Eat, Pray, Love?
Well, I think it encourages us to prioritize our own happiness and well-being, to embark on our own quest for self-discovery, whether it's traveling the world or exploring our own backyards.
It's a reminder that it's okay to put ourselves first, to honor our needs and desires, and to embrace the messy, imperfect journey of being human.
And to remember that true happiness isn't a destination, but a state of being, a state that we can cultivate through self-awareness, acceptance, and connection.
Exactly. And if Elizabeth's story has inspired you to explore your own path, we highly recommend reading Eat, Pray, Love. It's a transformative read that will stay with you long after you finish the last page.
You can find a link to purchase the book in the description below.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Eat, Pray, Love, be sure to subscribe to Mindful Moments for more insightful book analyses and thought-provoking discussions. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future episodes.
Thanks for joining us on this journey of exploration. Until next time, keep nourishing your mind.